and welcome. I am delighted to present greetings as Dean International. My name is Professor Amelia Hadfield, and it is an absolute pleasure to be here and to welcome you to the 2021 Spatial Structures Conference. I want to say Spatial Structures Movers and Shakers because I think the way in which spatial structures study here at the University of Surrey, as well as its international relations, is very, very trend-setting, very, very world-leading. So it's an absolute pleasure to be able to speak briefly to you this morning. My thanks, first of all, to Dr. Ali Reza Benajad and also to Professor Prashant Kumar, who is our Associate Dean International for FEPS here at the University of Surrey. Both of these are leading lights, as you know, in key areas of spatial structures. So it's very important, I think, that we recognise people who support the area and also the work of Prashant, who makes really sure that the international capacities of spatial structures are firmly part of where the international and global strategy of the university works in the next 2, 3 and 4 years ahead. I had the chance in the last couple of days to read the March issue of the Movers and Shakers online journal. And as somebody who comes completely fresh to this area, I have to say I was incredibly impressed, and I wonder if perhaps I did the right degree now, but that we'll leave that to one side. I was particularly impressed, I think, with the work of international collaboration. That area and that theme has some development, I think, which I'm not wholly aware of. And coming to my role as Dean International, it was an absolute privilege to be able to see some of the work that's been scaffolded out in the last couple of years. So the fact that it was developed at Surrey in 2014 and the impact of the DAD project, as you all know, has reached far beyond our campus here at the University of Surrey. We've seen groups of students from the West Institute of Technology and Higher Education in Mexico, for example, the Ferdowsi University of Mashhad in Iran, and also in Brazil, our USP, University of Sao Paulo, which is one of the 4 UGPN partners, of which the University of Surrey is another one. So you see this sort of collaborative inter-exchange of these universities all taking part in those projects. Further work on the professional application project, for example, is also going to be picking up with the West Institute of Technology and Higher Education, ITESO, and also reading the background of the various colleagues and the various inventors and developers, everything from structural components like bamboo to the sustainable use of a variety of other types of materials. I found absolutely fascinating. Specifically, I think the Research Centre are recently establishing a collaboration in Malaysia, helping to train a lecturer to organise the DAD project, and interestingly sponsoring a full-scale kit, which gave me some ideas about how we can take that sort of idea, that sort of project, and base it in other initiatives that we're trying to unroll in other areas. Clearly, the university is planning to offer that project to its students in the next academic year. And then finally, in 2018, of course, as you know, the Nomura Foundation from Japan sponsored the DAD workshops at universities in China and Iran. That is just incredibly important. I think that has not just an international component, but a very key regional component. And so much of what makes us an international university is our ability to find key regional partners who can make a difference substantively, technically, and also I think in their ability to support students. Something that I would be very keen on, of course, is to continue to encourage you and support you in my role as Dean International, and just to remind you why it's important to keep connecting with international staff, to be sure, but also international students who need very much to make up the role of, you know, project support staff, if you like. Speaking, I think, in the blog that I'm just finished writing, I wanted just to remind people that international students are increasingly mobile. They don't just come from abroad. They enjoy the travel. So one of the reasons, of course, for this is the jobs market, and something that I think you guys have done very, very well is you're very keyed in to what an international jobs market looks like and the type of skill set that you can provide, not just your colleagues, but internationally mobile students as a whole. Second, I think something that you do very, very well is to engender cross-cultural communication skills in spatial structures. So that's a nice kind of combination of 2 ends there. Students attaining those cross-cultural multicultural communication skills, really by moving beyond their home environment. And certainly I think the international world that we're seeing is so connected, from cross-sectoral supply chains and in-time communication, the massive online open courses, the MOOCs, to mobility opportunities. So maybe we'd like to work with you in thinking about how mobility opportunities at the undergraduate level, and now thanks to our new Turing scheme, the postgraduate taught and postgraduate research level, might avail you of more opportunities to send Surrey students out to spatial structures projects, conferences and opportunities. And then finally, just to finish, the role of access, something again I think you've done very, very well, is to look at international opportunities that lead to high quality experiences, quite literally across those sectors. As you well know, employers value new employees who have undertaken a range of various international chances, field trips and summer schools, a term abroad, etc., etc. So again, please count on me as Dean International to be able to support all the work of Spatial Structures, to see it flourish and grow in the faculty, but also I think across the university as a whole. So don't hesitate, do come back. And it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to present some initial opening thoughts, and I wish you the very best for a successful conference. Thank you so much.